Aloha! Welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson, coming to you from Hawaiian beaches on the beautiful big island of Hawaii. Hooray! Welcome! Yay! Aloha, Lori. Ah, aloha, Lauren. Yay! Bob's joining us, and we have Phoebes. Hooray! Thank you. Yay, Phoebes. Okay, so raise your hand if you have any questions. Just like always, I welcome dialogues. Actually, it's funny because I received some criticism, apparently. Some criticism occurred to me for not having dialogue. And you know what? I'm open to it. Although, although if it's an argument, it's not really going to go anywhere. So it's not really that kind of dialogue. It's not like an argument kind of dialogue. All right, let's see, Lori. Yay, Lori. You're on. There is also something about everyone who comes on just agrees with me. So that's fun. Yeah, and the thing is, whatever I say, it's not really for agreement or disagreement. It's just a pointer. You already know the truth. All I'm doing is pointing, you know, and I'm not really doing it like that. However you perceive me, whatever perception you get of me, that's what you made of me, and that's perfect. Okay, so Lori, you didn't come on, so I'm going to Christine's hand over here. Aloha, Christine.
Aloha, Hope. How are you, my love?
Oh, I'm stoked. How are you?
Oh, great. You look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I have something to share. I was just watching Marianne Williamson live in New York City. She's on half hour before you start.
Okay,
And
great.
she just announced that she's going to run for the presidency from the Democratic Party in 2020.
Uh-huh.
So she teaches the Course in Miracles.
I
So,
know. I
so
know.
that's pretty exciting. That, that
Hooray.
the Course in Miracles is making it into politics.
At least in the running, huh? That's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, it's in the running. I mean, I'm so excited. I had to tell somebody.
Oh, thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming on.
And there is some questions I have about some things you posted this week, but I'm going to go back and take a look at what the questions I had. So,
Okay.
all right.
Okay. Awesome. I'll talk to Lori for a minute. She's got her
Yeah.
hand. Okay.
Okay.
Aloha. Okay, you're back to unmuted, but I see that it looks like you're muted over here, which is funny. Oh, here it comes. It's green.
There we go.
Oh, your
It was,
beautiful voice.
Aw. It wasn't unmuting on my side for some. I guess
Oh, okay.
my thing was anyway. So how could somebody say we don't dialogue? You and I dialogue every stinking week. I saw
Well,
that.
well, it's like at a certain point, what is being looked for is argument. So what someone expects and may be looking for is for someone to come on and tell me, no, Hope, everything you're saying is wrong and you're all fucked up. But that that doesn't make for any kind of dialogue at all because it's just like, okay, thanks for letting me know. uh, or
Yeah.
to make worldly arguments, like statements of facts of arguments, it doesn't make any sense. It's not real sense. It's nonsense. You know.
Right. Yes.
I mean, for us and for wisdom dialogues, it's like a dialogue of communion. It's more like communion. It's not like trying to find the right answer because there is no right answer.
But
I don't have it. It's
what
like,
you say resonates. There's
yeah,
no need to argue. Well, sometimes I have a little what, but
And it's fun, isn't it?
exactly, yeah. And it,
You're so open, you put your argument out there and you know that it's an argument.
mm, but everything you say totally resonates.
Well, sweet. That's why we're hanging out.
Yep, I see that.
So hooray. Thank you, everyone. Aloha, Mara. Aloha, Sativa. Yay.
So you don't remember, I'm sure you don't remember any of last week's because there was something going on here. That's why I didn't really talk to you last week. And then it wasn't recorded. I figured, because I always say, oh, I'll be able to get to it when we.
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't recorded. I even had something for Christine in there. Yes, that's right. The last one wasn't recorded. So come on if you want to hear it. I can't guarantee it, but it does say it's recording.
Yeah, I see it does say it's recording. I said from now on I'm going to make sure that little red button's going down the bottom there.
Yay.
So what? You don't remember? Because you just came on and you started talking and it was beautiful.
Okay.
You don't. No. That's a whole week ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be hard pressed to do it from an hour from now if this wasn't recorded.
Yeah, just be open to the flow again. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Braun.
You had a question.
Hello.
This is my boy, Braun.
But you know that already.
Yeah, some of them do. There's a couple new people on.
Okay, you can mute me. I don't have a question.
Okay, I love you, Lori. Aloha.
Bye.
Yeah, it's fine.
So the question of what's wrong, that's what comes up. What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong.
Well, that's for sure. That's for sure. And it comes up in a lot of different ways. Yesterday, a friend of mine was asking me, why am I always getting people coming up to me telling me about Trump? I do not want to hear about Trump.
Because people are stupid and don't like Trump. That's why.
But the question is as if something is wrong, as if anything is wrong. And it's that feeling that something is wrong, like, oh no, I could be doing something better with my time than hearing about Trump. That comes as a feeling. So that feeling that something is wrong, that's where the healing needs to happen. It's not as in trying to find out how you attracted that, why you're attracting that, and all that stuff. It's just whatever arises, that's what it's for. It's always the same. It's always for healing, and that's all. See? So the ego will have you running around looking for reasons that something happened to you when nothing is happening. Okay? I see all these different ways that come up where it'll be like something is wrong. Another one is, are my patterns too deeply ingrained to be able to see through? It's just even the question is, you might as well say, is something wrong? It might as well just be, is something wrong? You might as well change it to that, because that's really what it's asking. Oh, did I act right? No. Yeah. Mara put a comment. Heal. FHEAL. Feel. That's fun, Mara. There's an idea that illusions have power, as if the world is telling you something that's true. It's never telling you anything that's true. It's always as if what you perceive in the world is telling you something about you, and the world, all it is made for, all it is based on, and all it can be perceived through is a body that's based in separation. So all your consciousness could bear witness to through the senses of the body is the opposite of what you actually are. So it's perceiving in separation. It doesn't mean anything about you. It's not really happening. You're seeing the result. What you're seeing is the result. I've heard it said you're seeing what cannot be seen. You're seeing is the result of the belief in separation. It's the effect of believing in separation. And what's being perceived through the body senses is meant to get you on board supporting that belief by projecting thoughts that uphold it. So for instance, the thought occurs to you, wow, it's like every time I'm hearing about Trump and I don't want to hear about Trump. And that's pursued as if something is wrong or something might be wrong. I might need to fix this so I don't attract this kind of scenario all the time. Or how about the one, I don't seem to have enough money. I must be doing something wrong. See? All these things are illusions that have been given power to. I don't seem to have enough money to do what I want. Am I doing something wrong? What can I do better? All that kind of stuff. This is a picture show occurring in the mind. Picture show occurring in the mind. Cause and effect are not really what they seem, and nothing means anything. It's all meaningless. So to pursue an idea like whether or not that means something about you in the first place, it's just not true. That's just not even true. All there is perceiving, and as you're perceiving what's not true, as it is though, as it is, not true as it is. What I mean by that is not making it real, not accepting it as if it's real. See? Here's what I see, and the question was posed yesterday. It was, how do you get that to stop happening? You don't want it to stop happening. That's just the way, it doesn't matter to you. It's you giving it meaning and making it matter that makes it occur to you as anything, like different than just a pattern playing. And in that, you can have fun with all of those patterns playing, even if they get an upset feeling with you. In fact, you can have more fun if an upset feeling arises in response to it, because when you recognize that reaction to it, you can just get the right of it and not make it into something. You just get the right of that reaction. It's just fear of that reaction that has anyone running in thought. It's just fear that the reaction is going to be too much, not going to be able to handle it. So by running in thought, it dissolves the feeling enough so it's not so fearful to get that effect. See? But that doesn't let it heal. That keeps it under covers. That keeps it under wraps. It doesn't let it come to the surface, to the light where it could be healed. If it's just held up to the light of truth, it's no longer any kind of hindrance for you. And here's the thing, if you don't believe it, you find yourself not believing it, right? You resonate with it. You know it's the truth. You know the truth is the truth, but you find yourself not believing in it. Here, I'll give you a for instance. For instance, there's no difference between illusions, and no illusion can affect another illusion, okay? So to put that in practical terms, it's not really true that food can have any effect on your body, either negatively or positively. All of the effects that it has on the body is given from your belief, okay? So, I had a friend pose the question to me yesterday, how do I get myself to stop believing that there's a difference between eating a Cheeto and eating something from my garden? How do I get myself to stop believing that? And here's the thing, that voice that's saying, how do I get myself to stop believing it? That is the same projection, that's coming from the same projection that's making it. It's making it up. See? You don't have a choice because what you're believing right now, you don't have a choice in that because what you're believing right now is what you've been upholding by pursuing the thoughts that resonate with it. That's what it is, okay? So where your choice is in whether you're pursuing right now thoughts that support that same belief. And all that takes is holding the belief up to what the truth is. Regardless of how you feel about it, regardless of how real it feels. You can't say, I don't believe that this thing affects me this way. Well, you'll know if you believe it or not because you'll perceive the effects. Okay? You'll perceive the effects. Lori's like, how? How what? Do you want to ask a question, Lori? If you do, raise your hand. I'm not sure what you're asking. So when you're having the perception of yourself believing in something that's false, just get the experience of it. That's all. Just perceive it. Just get the experience. Lori said she answered it, and Christine said, what is the truth? Well, basically, we've said before, you can't really, pinpoint it with words, but there are thoughts that resonate with, you could say, the thought system of truth. And one of them is that one illusion can affect another illusion. That's a thought or an idea that resonates with the truth. So, for instance, if you have the perception that eating a certain food was either good or bad for you, okay, that is a thought that denies what's true. If that thought occurs, that denies what's true. I'm not even going to say if. I'm going to say when, because it's not like those thoughts don't occur all the time. Okay? That's how it goes, because that's how it gets you. Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, what did I eat last night? Oh, my tummy hurts. What did I eat last night? There's no last night. Last night is projected from right now. It's like all time. There is no last night. So in getting the effects of it, in getting the effects of that misbelief and not pursuing the thought, and it's basically the same kind of thing. It's basically the same thing. Once there's willingness to get the effects of it, there's no need to pursue the thoughts. When the thoughts are uninteresting to you because you can see that they're meaningless, then you can get the ride, you can get the effects. Okay? And by getting the effects of it, your belief over time changes. Okay? You'll start to have different perception. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it doesn't show up on the surface as you believe you're going to perceive. So trust that. We already know that. I was talking with some of my friends yesterday about atoms. I found out some scientists were doing some research on it, and atoms apparently form themselves according to our feeling or our energy, which is feeling. form themselves according to that. Mara said, right, the believer believes what the perceiver perceives. Yeah. You could say the perceiver is going out, the perceiver is, it basically has a body sense to perceive through. And the body sense is completely made on the thought of separation. So all it can perceive is in separation. Everything is like that. Every thought is like that. And I get the question, why the separation? There she is. Why the separation? And, you know, the pain needed to be expressed somehow. You could say the pain needed to be expressed. It's like an explosion. Whoosh. And there's a world just instantly.
So all the sensations, pain, all of that isn't real either.
No, none of them are real. None of them are actually real. But you do get the sense and get the, you could say, the experience of what's beyond that. And, you know, you get the sense through the feeling intensity. As it's allowed to grow, it'll grow in intensity, and when that intensity drops, you get the sense of something beyond all of that, because there's a calm that stays. And I've also described it as like a river, like a flowing, slow flowing, kind of lazy, relaxed river that's always flowing underneath all of the chaos. See? And it's like, you know that space, that's like home. You could say that's like home. That's the truth.
And if you can stay there, then you realize that all of this is bullshit. All of the chaos or whatever is not even, it's not, doesn't touch you.
Yeah, you do stay there and it doesn't touch you. You only have an imagination that it does touch you. So
through thought,
yes,
that makes it seem real.
yes, that's right. And you know, all day long there's all these opportunities for healing and what's been called forgiveness and stuff like that, because every single projection is about yourself. So every single projection is about yourself. You know, like the comment, you know, that person looks crazy, a person looks wild, or whatever. It's always about yourself. That's what you can laugh about, because you have to see it within yourself first and want to cast it out of yourself, thinking you could save yourself. It's very innocent.
Yeah.
I want to cast it onto the world, thinking that it could save you. And all it does is make a world full of all these differences, you know, some of which become threats in your mind. all these differences, and nothing is really happening. It's just occurring to you out of what you feel.
Occurring to you out of what?
What you feel.
From the feeling. Oh, right.
Yeah, because you know how I was saying, you're pursuing thoughts that uphold the belief. Well, the feeling is a projection of those beliefs. You know, that's the first manifestation of the beliefs, is a feeling. So if a feeling is like an upset feeling, any kind of upset, frustration, or anything like that, it's a symbol that you've been believing in thoughts that make you into something you're not. That's all it is, though. It's not a question of what you should do, whether you should do something different. It's so fun. Saw that come up for a mom in radical. I'm in a radical unschooling group. It's really fun on Facebook, and one of the questions came up. You know, this isn't going on. She's not doing this, and I'm really worried and concerned. And you know, when it comes to anything, worry and concern are not a signal that you should be doing something different. They're a signal that you've been attacking yourself. That's all. The doing something different if it's in the interest of awakening, because that's what everything is doing. It's like it's presenting itself. It's presenting itself, or you could say you're projecting it for awakening, and that's the only way any of it is occurring to us anyhow. So if anything needs to be changed, it will be changed, and it won't be your choice anyways.
Yeah. It'll just be the happening. Just
Yeah. It's like enjoy the show, because it is a show. And the more you enjoy the show and recognize when you're not enjoying the show, recognize when you're not enjoying the show as a symbol that you're believing against yourself, and that's all. Nothing else. Nothing else. It doesn't mean something about somebody. It doesn't mean you need to do anything different. Okay? Doesn't mean you need to go out and get whatever you think will cure that upset feeling.
or not eat because the food is making the body fat.
Well, if that belief is there and that's what's playing out, it's not a problem.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing.
You know, if that's the belief and that's what's playing out, that's all cool. I mean, different. There's all kinds of different ways of experimenting, and you know, it's all open for that. There's not any way to be. There's not any particular way to be. You know, it has to come natural anyways. You
Right.
can't say this is the enlightened way to be or
Right.
something. It has to come natural to you anyways. It's not going to be like something that you manipulate yourself into. And then the other thing is that no one's even doing it wrong. No one is doing it wrong. That's that's a big one. It's like there's a natural desire for connection. There's a natural desire for loving connection, and everyone's doing the best they can to go toward that, And for a lot of it, it's it's feeble. Well, the attempts that are being made are feeble, and people end up really confused. Like, why don't any of my relationships work out and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Why does everyone piss me off and no one's good enough?
Well, my girlfriend that I walk with all the time,
Yeah.
her son, remember over the past couple of years, I've talked about this so much that I've wanted to talk with him for so long because he was heavy into drugs and everything. And he went, well, I just never had the opportunity to talk to him or anything. Well, in the past couple of weeks, we have gotten very close and we've been so connected. It's unbelievable. When he sees me, it's so sweet. We really are connecting on a level that I thought about this for 2 years, and now it's actually happening.
Yeah, so it's interesting too when a thought occurs to you, like you would like to do something, like maybe you would like to connect with something like that, or connect with someone. That doesn't mean that you have anything to do. It doesn't mean that you have to do anything.
Right.
That's just the way it's going.
Exactly, and that's what I've done over the past 2 years. There was no trying to force it, or no. There was just the thoughts would come up. God damn, I'd love to talk to this kid, just to sit and talk with him, and it just never worked out. And now all of a sudden, it's like I'm watching it all unfold. It's so cool.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Today I told him I loved him, and he was like, his face he's just the sweetest. He's 17, and he's really changed in the past year. He went to a certain correctional place, and I mean, when he talks to me, he looks right in my eyes. And I said to him, I said, you're not hiding anything. I mean, he used to steal from his mother, from his sister. He used to, oh, he was on drugs. And it's like a miracle. It's so cool.
Well, it was all meaningless. It's all meaningless. And that's the thing. It's like if you make it mean something, then it becomes important. But whatever the kid seems to be doing, it's just an experiment. It's consciousness playing out. Let them have their space.
Yeah.
It's really, and in saying that, it's really like let you have your space.
Let me have my space.
It is the same. It is the same. You can just be allowed to have your space to play your patterns.
So do you think I'm not allowing myself to have my space?
Because no, I'm not saying that. Do you?
I don't know. How do I know?
If you get a reaction.
Reaction? What do you mean? What do you mean?
To hearing it and to taking it as if it's about you. You just know if you get a reaction. That's all.
If what's about me?
Well, did you just ask me if I was saying that you aren't allowing the space?
Yeah. I didn't know.
I didn't mean that about you.
Oh.
Yay.
Oh my God, I'm so confused right now. I'm literally, my mind has gone blank, completely blank.
Perfect. It's perfect. Hi. So Mara made a comment. So let life come to me as it is the only way and witness it, huh? That sounds like pretty much it, Mara. If you'd like some clarification, go ahead and raise your hand. But that sounds like it. Let life come to me as it is, the only way, and witness it. Yeah. So, you're getting a full experience of whatever it is that's arising for you. And that's all it's for. And recognizing that that's all it's for and there's nothing else to do about it, you can rest where you are. You can rest exactly where you are. Yeah. So, Lori, what I noticed is that you were allowing the space those 2 years. I remember having conversations with you before, and you were saying, "What do I do about this?" Right?
Right.
I said nothing.
And I totally just let it. I mean, I noticed that, and then when it was completely not even thought about, boom, here I am. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing him every day, and what the heck? It's weird.
That's so fun. It's a good testimony. It's a good testimony of allowing. Thank you.
Okay.
Yay.
It is.
Tig Monk's on.
No way. Hi, Tig.
Love you. Really enjoying this space of just allowing. Hands off the wheel. Watching the show. Yay. Thank you for joining me.
I wish you two would talk. Last time you two talked, wow, it was about a year ago, wasn't it? You two talked.
I don't know, but I'll leave that up to Tig Monk. If he wants to talk with me, he can raise his hand. I got Sativa on the line. I love you, Lori. I hung up on you. I didn't realize how it was working. It was just automatically doing that. I love you. Okay, Sativa. Yay.
Hi, Hope.
Hi, my love.
So I had a question today about, lately I've been feeling this financial lack.
Yay.
In my perceptions. I think I got a permit to hike the Pacific Crest Trail, and I started Googling it, and the money started getting to my head because people said they spend $5,000 to $20,000, and I started doing all the math, and I guess what I'm looking for is just some advice on how to stabilize my thoughts, or at least just trust in the process of how everything will unfold. Because right now I just feel the scarcity.
That's a big one. And and it doesn't matter if it's big either, because they're all the same. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
that scarcity one, it's one that's been pursued a lot. A lot. It seems to be ingrained, and there isn't really any scarcity. There isn't really any scarcity because you're getting whatever experience is necessary for awakening. Remember, all the time, money in that is completely meaningless. Okay, so if you think you want to do something and then it seems like you don't have the money for it, that's not a reason why you're not going to do it. That's not a reason. That's what the ego will put out there, is like, that's the reason that you're not going to do it. And the doing it, really, it occurs to you as a feeling, and you don't really actually like go there, do that. So that's one part that's really interesting, because when it occurs to you to go there, you know how it feels, to be able to go wherever it is where you think you want to go. And when you're looking into it, maybe planning for it or whatever, when you're looking into the trip and planning on going, irrespective of whether you have the money, you are in that feeling. You're in that feeling sense. You are in that vibration that is you could say a joyous, with a joyous feel to it, and through that, that's the kinds of thoughts that are attractive to you. The thoughts of actually doing it instead of not doing it. So it's not using the doubtful ones to cut it off. That's all.
Yeah, I understand. So in a way, though, is that like law of attraction, kind of like attracts like?
It totally does, work like that, because but it's not like people think, because people try to manifest something specifically and you don't know what you want. That's the thing. Not even if you think you want money, you don't know what you want. You don't know you don't know what you want. If you think you want anything in this world, you do not know what you want. That idea that you want something, it is a projection of your desire to know who you are. That's all it is. So when you recognize that even that feeling of wanting and that feeling of lack, it's all for that same thing. You get it like that. You get the abundance, you get the experience like that, because that's the only thing of value that it could lead to. And when you put that above all else, then you don't have to care for where your next move is coming from, what's going to support your next move, let's say. Because whatever movement seems to be made through you, that's completely supported by basically you. Like who you are.
So what do you suggest doing in a situation, though, like where I do find myself following my thoughts? Do I just come back to seeing what that feels like, experiencing the scarcity and lack within my body's energy field?
That's right. That's all it is. That's all it is. And if it's helpful for you, you could hold it to an idea of the truth. An idea that speaks to the truth. An idea like, all of my support comes from my source. Even though it seems like it comes from this money, even though it seems like it does come from this money, whatever upset that there is around that can be addressed like that and can be healed that way. That's how the wounds around it get healed.
That's so comforting.
Yeah, there's nothing for you to try to get by going on this trip, and you don't really know that you want the trip.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like that in anything. I mean, you could say running an essential oil company. Like when I start an essential oil company, apparently, and put out one essential oil, the trajectory is that it's going to sell more essential oils and make money and all that kind of stuff. But if the reason for doing it, it's not that fun. You know, it can't be enjoyed, and from not enjoying, all that's going on is projections for more non-enjoying.
I understand.
So it's just the process of it playing out. If you'll be with whatever that upset feeling is, if you'll be with that upset feeling, and know that it's awesome, like keep your head up, looking for the blessings, and you'll see them. They'll be revealed to you. But if you try to go into, this is what the ego will try to get you to do, maybe look for some of those self-help things on spiritually attracting what it is that you want to attract. You know, and there's nothing wrong with going there. I'm not like putting that thing down or anything. That's valid meandering for people. It's a valid meandering. It's not going to anything that anyone wants, though. Really. You know, it can only lead to more suffering. Tig Monk said, wait a minute. What is he saying here? You're simply getting the experience that points to a deeper awakening, no judgment toward the experience. This invites a deeper honoring toward what's being experienced. And I guess the deeper honoring is really the point. Yeah, it's like over and over and over again, too. Over and over and over again. It comes back up, and it's and in a different way. It'll come in a different way. Even you know, you're not handling that right. Even the idea of, oh, you mishandled the money, that's not possible either. That's not possible either.
Oh my God, I get that thought all the time.
Yay, thank you. I'm so glad. I'm
just
so
like
glad
online shopping or something.
Yes, so that's the guilty thing. That's the guilty thing. You don't have a choice in any of that. Watch that. Watch how you want to make it about being guilt. I get that thought too, Lori. Yes, here too. In fact, the way I get that thought is by projecting it as if someone else is accusing me of that. That's really fun. But, you know, that's only because I didn't want to see myself saying it to myself, you know. So then I get the projection like it's someone else. And it's funny because once you get that you're projecting it, that's really how you feel about yourself. That's really how you feel about yourself. And you get that the projection is really just coming from you, then kindness comes in. You're not pissed at the person at all. And the same thing, kindness for you. It's the same thing if you're not seeing it coming from an outside source and it's just you saying that in your mind, which it's all the same, but for reference, if it's just you seeing that in your mind, it's like taking care of the one perceiving. I mean, that's a hard ass perception to have. That's messed up, right? Like it's possible for you to mishandle your money. That's hard. Now you have a big responsibility. Lori says it hurts. So here's back to Tig. It's like as we recognize the point, awakening, then all is seen to be fulfilled. Then whatever happens doesn't happen. Or what you said, whatever happens happens, but you know, I would say whatever happens doesn't really happen. Oh, it's Tig Monk. Okay, Sativa, I'm going to Tig Monk. Oh, he's
okay. Thank you so much, Hope.
Thank you, Sativa. I love you. Hooray, you're on.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So good to see your bright, shiny face. Oh my God.
Yay, I love you. Thank
oh
you.
my God. Oh, I can't believe it. I mean, I was just up awake. It's like 1 o'clock or almost 2 o'clock here. And then I just saw the notification. I'm like, yep, that's happening right now. I was about to go to bed. Oh my God, Hope. Oh my God.
I know.
Oh my goodness. I love you so much. God, it feels like I was just there hugging you. Good Lord,
I know. I feel it.
It's been like 3 years, but whatever.
It's been like 3 years. Wow.
Yeah, and just what you're talking about just now just touches me so deeply, like with these internal projections of guilt that we find in the world.
Yeah.
And we think it's coming from out there, but it's just an opportunity to see, hey, this guilt's inside of you. Let's hold it and
Yeah.
see what it's really about. Because I was like on YouTube the other day, and I just came across these videos of just like worldly helpful knowledge, but like telling you what to do, like how to manage money, and you're screwing up if you're doing it this way or that way. And I started getting all down on myself. It's like, oh, Tiger, you fucked up, man. It's
No,
like
I suck.
the whole thing. It's like you've totally screwed up being a human being. And it was like in listening to you, it's like, oh, that's so awesome, because it's like it's not that it was coming from the outside in. It was just gently showing me where there was pain, just where there was pain, as an opportunity to be held, just to like really question, okay, what's really true. And in that investigation, I just saw that I'm not doing anything at all. There's nothing happening. Calm down, Tiger, calm down. You're not that important, buddy.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's like you can't do it. And I watch in my own experience, it's like this character shows itself really wanting to assert some sense of control, just to like know itself in the world, just to know it's doing a good job and
Yeah.
isn't messing up. That's the thing. It's like it wants to know that it's not messing up, which believes you are messing up. And
Yeah.
and it what's that?
It's set up for failure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like anything this person thinks it can do is just automatically set up for failure, which is really good news.
Yes,
This is
it is.
really good news.
It is.
Yeah.
And you probably experience it real similar to how I do. Like if we find ourselves looking into something like that, where all of a sudden we're like, holy shit, what are? It's like you can't even, almost like can't even. It's just so meaningless.
Yeah.
It's like it feels like meandering around in just meaninglessness. And
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I've been, but it's weird. It's like it's some sort of season that I've been going through, like the past month, like been meandering into all of these things where it's just exposing so much self-hatred. And
right.
just like it's like there's a deep sincerity that says I just want to give up.
Yeah.
But it's painful, but it's true. And it's like there's this whisper from God in my ear saying it's okay to give up, but something inside is afraid to. And so it looks for these areas of how can I control. And the way that my being tries to control is through judging myself.
That's
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's
It's like
exactly
I can't do anything else, so I might as well judge myself.
Yeah. Like that's
Yeah.
going to lead to something that you want. And,
Yeah.
that's the
Yes.
way it's meant to be set up, like net worth,
Yeah.
accumulation, like that's some kind of safety if there's some kind of an accumulation. And that's just completely accumulated thought. It's totally meaningless.
Oh, in a way, it's so scary to see the truth of that because you got to kind of lay the world down.
Yes, and and that's why I was talking about, with the food affecting the body, it's kind of like the same thing like that. This idea that food affects the body, like that made me feel good or bad. I mean, it just automatically comes up like that, and it's like that with money too. Those thoughts just like automatically pop out, like as if that's necessary. What will I do if I don't have money for this? And that's one of the things that Jesus was talking about when he'd say to take no thought for tomorrow. Like what you're gonna eat or what you're gonna drink,
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's constantly pointing back to like this total devotion, this total devotion to the truth or to the one or to God, and really just letting the world be the world. I mean, whatever it appears to be.
Which includes yourself, and that's what's really big,
Yeah.
because that's it. It's like your image of yourself, is not separate from your image of the world.
Yeah, yeah.
So whatever, self-judgment, it's like showing some care for that, because when self-judgment arises, I know, kind of like the less mature thing, the less mature way to approach it would be to like laugh on it. That's stupid. How can you fucking believe that? But the what's believing that is feeling like that belief is really true.
Yeah. Yeah.
and needs some love, like some TLC, and there's kind of like a sad child within each of us who's believing these thoughts and like sincerely believing them as if they're true and feeling very afraid, and that's what gets the comfort, because that's where those feelings are pointing to, all of those upset feelings.
Yeah. Oh, so sweet. So sweet.
You're so sweet, Piggy.
we are. I love you. Thank
I
you.
love you. Aloha.
Aloha.
Christine, if you have your questions, I'm ready for your questions. Otherwise, we'll see what else occurs. Iggy? What was that? Tiggy. Oh, Tiggy. Yes. Oh, there's Christine. Okay. Aloha.
Oh, I'm just writing it. I said I can't find it, so it must not be important anymore or relevant. So
Now you're writing it. Oh,
that's what I was writing to you when you said that.
okay.
Yeah, I'm just really enjoying listening tonight. It's just really beautiful, and as always is, hitting home and reminding me of who I am, and that there's nothing wrong. Yeah.
That's sure.
Absolutely nothing
There's nothing wrong with believing something's wrong either. That's important to note.
Absolutely.
Just in case you believe something wrong and you're going to, what's wrong with me? I want to get rid of this belief.
Get rid of things. Yeah, I mean, that's the belief that if something has to be fixed, done, taken care of.
Yeah.
It's not going to resolve on its own. How could it? There's not enough, or there's too much, or just the mind is always looking for something to pick on.
Yeah.
And it's always me.
Yes, that's right. And that's the thing. You recognize that it's always you.
Yeah, it's always picking on me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's you pursuing that. So you see that you're pursuing it.
Mm-hmm.
You see that you're pursuing it, and you just be there for that experience of you pursuing it.
It's unbelievable how quickly you can go from that illusion of, that you can be in that reaction so quickly and not know it's happening.
Yes, it's okay.
Until days later. And it's like, whoa, I fell for it again.
Okay, so the part where you're going, I fell for it again, that's the same voice that's projecting.
Right.
Okay? Because there's not a playfulness with it. It's as if something's wrong with projecting it again.
Right. The judge pops back up. And
exactly. So that's why so that's why it gets, that kind of scenario keeps on getting played out, because it seems to be meaningful. And it's not. It doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Like, oh, sorry, not sorry. To yourself, I mean, it's just like, hey, it's like, hey, that's the way it played out. It's not personal, and everything just becomes more universal for you and not so personal. Then it can just play out how it plays out without you judging yourself.
So
That's how you
how do you
feel.
catch that more? How do you catch that sooner? Like, how do you just laugh at everything? You told me that once before. You said just laugh at everything.
If you're not laughing, like for me, if I'm not laughing about it, I know I'm mistaken, but that doesn't mean I have to change how I feel. I could cry,
Mm-hmm.
you know. In fact, I had an experience, a crying experience, which, you know, took me by surprise. I'm not used to that, but it was fun. You know, there's all of a sudden there is like, whoa, it hit me, some kind of sadness. But through the crying, and through all the feelings, whatever it is, there's recognizing that I am hurting myself. I'm holding that up. And you know, you start to really get the gist of what's going on there when you're willing to see. And seeing it hold yourself holding it up, it just turns to laughter again really fast.
What do you mean holding yourself up?
Well, it's like you're not holding yourself up, but holding the belief. You could say pursuing thoughts to make the belief more concrete. See? So it's like, in order to make myself cry, for instance, I have to pursue thoughts that support a belief that attacks me. See? So I can see the play. I can see the play, and you can too if you're gonna look, you're willing to look, of using thought patterns to attack myself. And you know, once I see that play, laughter just happens because there's no way that I'm attracted to pursuing those anymore once it's seen.
So if when that emotion of crying, showed up, or sadness,
Okay.
does there have to be a story connected to it, or could just the emotion just be arising? And maybe you're not upholding anything.
Well, here's the thing. It's always, always, always based on some story. The root story is that you separated yourself from reality.
Back to that.
That's the root story. So if you can't pinpoint what it is that you have a story about, you might as well just go back to the root story.
Back to the original story.
Yes, because that's what's making you feel bad in the first place, and that would what would be making you project a story in the illusion.
So you mean separation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Touche. Thank you.
I love you. Aloha.
Aloha.
All right. So if anyone else would like to speak with me, please raise your hand. Oh yeah. Yay. Anastasia. You raised your hand. I haven't heard from you in a while. Okay, your mic's on.
Hey.
We said it together.
Can you hear them?
Whatever. What did you say?
Okay. I have accumulated some really lots of questions.
How
and
fun.
None of them I really feel super comfortable to ask.
Oh. Even better.
Say again?
I said even better.
Even better, yeah. So I'm putting out a representative who will ask questions for me.
Okay. Who is it?
Okay. Okay, I have a question, Hope.
Oh, fabulous. Who's this?
My name's Andrea.
Oh, aloha, Andrea.
Aloha. I have a question about sort of, I guess it's jealousy.
Okay.
And so basically having trouble with anger towards men who sort of project hopeful images onto people. And is it possible, it's probably just an illusion anyway, but is it possible that women can sense when a man is putting some kind of hope on, like some kind of pattern to hope for something more that's not really possible? And
well, I hope so, because they're projecting it. The woman is projecting that guy. So, and that's why women seem to get the same guy over and over again, because they're projecting that guy. They're getting a particular feeling out of it and making it mean something.
Okay, so what if there's this hypothetical woman and woman couple?
Okay.
And then there's this hypothetical man who all of a sudden appears, and he had some kind of connection with one of the women when the two women weren't together. So then when he reappears in the picture, he has these hopes and dreams and things like that he's been cultivating in his mind for months. And then when he arrives, the woman that is not involved in that duo of the man and the woman is like, get the fucking hell out of here. When he sort of reveals his hopes for more that are no longer possible because of this new relationship.
Okay, well that sounds very, very convoluted. What's your question?
Do I have a question?
Good story. A good one.
Yeah, I'm just trying to convince people that it's all projected, and nobody seems to want to go with it. You know, like it seems like.
Why do you want to convince people of that?
Why do I want to convince that it's projected?
Yes.
Well, what happened is that after I visited Hawaii,
yeah,
and got enlightened, as we all know, like almost each person I hang out for a couple of hours, they think that they're in love with me.
Okay.
And it's like a little bit entertaining for some time, but now it started to be like creating a lot of problems, because people start to have like really crisis and rolling on the floor and asking for help from psychologists. And I thought about my part in it, and I saw that I saw where I played into this energy, and then I kind of cut it, but now it's affecting other people. I know it's a story, but still these people involved, they seem to really like fire up. And I just want them to see that they don't need to invest all their energy into this, make it bigger, and create more by investing into those ideas of that somebody's doing something over there.
Yeah, so they're not doing anything over there either. They're not.
Oh yeah, I see.
That's not really occurring. You see how this presents itself as if it's some kind of an issue, and it's a no issue, because nothing is happening. Whatever people are doing, and I've had the perception of someone acting out a bout of violence and punching something right in front of me and stuff. And it's like whatever they happen to be doing, if you recognize that's projected from your body's energy field, it's actually coming from your body's energy field. They're playing out your secret desires. Then you can get the experience of it, and through you it calms down. You basically are setting the tone.
So in my experience,
yeah, but not by you telling them something that they're afraid of and don't want to hear. See, I live with a family of people who are not interested in, not necessarily interested in taking it all as an illusion. Maybe sometimes, not all the time. And I don't have a demand on them that they need to do that, because whatever my perception of them is, if there seems to be any kind of issue or any kind of problem or anything like that, I know what that's for. It's always the same. It's always for feeling and healing.
So let's say you're like you're open with many people, and you say to them that you love them, and then they start to project on you, and they come maybe to your house and hug you, and then your husband starts to be nervous, and he say, "I'm gonna cut these dicks off." you know.
Yeah,
So
well, if that occurred to me, I would be projecting it. So if something
mhm,
like that occurred to me, I would be projecting it. Even the people coming around and hug me and everything like that, it's all coming from your own energy. And I've seen that play out in, a lot of different ways. One of them where I feel like someone's giving me like a pervy vibe or something like that. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of like almost
mhm,
like trying to get fresh, you could say. And just with recognizing that it's coming from me and looking upon that person with gratitude, knowing that it's coming from me, the energy shifts. I've seen it change right before my eyes.
mhm.
I don't even have to necessarily say anything. Something might be, I might be made to say something. If I do, it's usually funny because I like to laugh. It's usually some kind of comedic thing. But you know, it's like it's just not it's not coming from outside of you. No one from
Mhm.
outside of you, that's an idea that, when people are around you, they just fall in love with you. That's also a projection. That's not
Mhm.
that's not how it is. It's just a projection. And if that seems to be an issue for you, you're projecting an issue with it too. So it all comes back to your own energy field, and and it's all self-talk. So when you're talking with these people who are hanging around with you, when you're telling them, "Hey, you've got to stop investing in it," it's like in that moment, that's self-talk. Stop investing in this illusion. It's saying,
Ah, yeah. Mhm.
"Stop investing in this illusion. This is not a happening. This is you're seeing a habit play out right now." Seeing the habit pattern play out. You start to tell yourself that people just fall in love with you. It's a habit pattern playing out. All of it is. It doesn't matter what story you have. So if it's becoming some kind of an issue, drop it because it was never true in the first place. It was only like a
Y-
play.
Yeah, this one, the guys falling in love, I don't buy into it. It's very easy to stay not involved. But when you share more like intimate space with somebody, like let's say your husband, how do you then separate yourself from his experience?
I don't have to. I don't have to do anything like that. It all comes back down to, at the most basic of basics, is what I'm feeling. And when I'm there willing to feel and not trying to make illusions, not trying to figure out what to do and all that kind of stuff, just watching it playing out, then we're in harmony. We're not at odds with one another. We're not. If you're trying to change yourself, then it makes a disharmony. But if you're not trying to change yourself, you can have harmony with everyone.
Okay. Do you have more questions?
Mm. Hmm. So how does that work? No, maybe that's the same thing. I
Well,
don't know.
I'm married. I'm married. Apparently, I've been with the same man for like, I don't know how many years it is now. Gosh, it's 24 maybe, 25, something like that. Um, and anytime there seems to be some kind of conflict, there seems to be arising any kind of conflict between us. Even if it happens to be jealousy or anything like that. It gets back down to taking care of my own feelings. From there, everything else works itself out. That's why Jesus said something like, "Seek first the kingdom of heaven, and all else will be added unto you." So it's like these questions try to avoid seeking first the kingdom of heaven and try to get some kind of effect in the world, whether that looks like your relationship is the way you expect it to look or whatever. I'm madly in love with you too, Anastasia. That's Bob, Anastasia.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
So I created all of this. I probably really needed this, right?
So you made well, you didn't create it. You made it up. There's a huge difference. There's a huge difference. All of these things are made up as a device, and all of these things are made up for feeling, and which is healing.
So what if I say she's not totally making it up? I see it happening too.
Well, here's
That's kind of the thing. Like I see these like
It's made up from you, from your
yeah.
energy field.
I'm making it up too?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. It's exactly right. Every single thing, even what you perceive about other people, it's all made up. And it comes off of energy. It's a feeling that's based on belief, and it's making illusions. And we're in cahoots. That's why you can vouch for her. She's not making it up. I saw it too. The trouble is you're also making it up.
So I see these men take like one more step closer and one more step closer and like testing the boundary further, because they're hopeful. Like once they get a smile and then they get a few minutes of talking and then they get this and then the next thing you know they're standing like right beside and then like asking out for dinner, so those are actual facts.
Repulsive, yes, they're actual facts. I understand where you're coming from on that they are actual facts. The thing is that all facts are projected, and there's something that underlies all the facts. So for you, from your perspective, you're getting an uncomfortable sensation when this occurs to you. Do you see? Okay, so you're getting an uncomfortable first sensation. From your perspective, you're being offered right there an opportunity for healing the cause. An opportunity for healing the cause of it. So you stop projecting onto this person as if this person is actually walking up to you, recognizing that this is coming out of you. This is coming out of your imagination. You see, when you know it's coming out of your imagination, you can play with it. It becomes really fun. I can give you for instance, I was at a bar dancing, and I don't know, maybe I'm kind of like a sexy dancer. I might be, I don't know. But a guy comes up and he's standing after I'm done dancing. A guy comes up and he's standing right here, like right next to me, and his face is like really close to mine. And in recognizing that it's me, I just looked at him, and he said, "Why are you looking at me like that?" And I go, "I'm just wondering why you're standing so close to me." And he just went away. And it's not like it's a thing. And I see that kind of thing arise in the mind, and that's the only place it arises. It's in the mind. I promise you. See that sort of thing arise in the mind, and it looks like someone is putting the moves or whatever. But since I know it's coming from me, it's not a problem. It's never a problem.
I like how you said once, like, I put them there. Then
Yes.
it gives back power to me, and then I'm not separate, and I'm not afraid of somebody's doing or gonna do something to me. I put them there.
If there's two people, like two women, how is it that a person gets put there in that way, like a man? We both put him there?
Each one individually, each one having a different experience.
So can two women have the same experience and share one mind and be on the same page where those people keep their distance?
We all share the same mind. We all share the same mind. So it's wanting something to be different that makes it into a problem for someone. When it's not wanting something to be different, you can just play with the energy because you put it there. You put them there. Just like
so if I know I put them there, I can say, "Get the hell out!" Like go away, or like.
You know what? You could say anything. Anything could occur to come out of your mouth, but the main thing is that you're there to get the experience of why you put that person there. You know, get that experience of you knowing what it's for. It's in knowing what the whole thing is really for. Then it's kind of playful, even if it's like, hey, you know, when I was like in my 20s, me and my friends just got a kick out of, you know, guys would come up like, you know, we just got a kick and say, fuck off, you know, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what comes out of your mouth. That's also part of the play. What all that matters is that you recognize what it is for. See?
What it is for.
What it is for. It's always for awakening the mind. That's always what it's for. It's
But
not.
men sometimes think it's for foreplay.
Yeah, sure.
They kind of get their words mixed up a little bit sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm not saying all, but
yeah, you know, and if you're having the perception of men around you acting like that, you put them there like that too. You know, it's keep on going back to turning your focus back inward to where it's projected from. Find the cause of it. See, there's not really men. There's not even really different genders. There's energy. There's energy at play at the finest level here, and everything that's occurring, that seems to be occurring. On the surface, people walking up to you and everything like that, that's not even happening. Chigmonk said, we are totally making up the interpretation, which is the meaning of the facts. Without the interpretation, meaning, there is no feeling, right? So if you're just like a newborn baby and you don't know what this means to have this dude walking up, it doesn't faze you. But since there's some interpretation of it, some judgment attached to it, what should or should not happen, what you want, and all that kind of stuff plays into it, and it gets confusing. It's like, what do I do? How do I deal with this kind of situation when the answer is only given to you from moment to moment? You know, you don't have to judge. That's what's exhausting, is the judging. Like, oh, it's like whatever, a body appearing in your field, is not really a body appearing in your field. It's you interpreting some energy, some information as a body in the field. And in this case, a body in the field that's offensive.
So what is the you if the body in the field isn't you? And obviously that must mean that our own body, or what we perceive as our own body, isn't you or me either. So
Right.
Where's this you?
Well, it's everywhere. You could say it's awareness. And everything is awareness. So it's like you could say the whole perception is awareness. And it's like awareness showing itself to itself. But the whole thing, body and world, are one thing. They're one projection. So it's like you can't separate one image within the projection and say that's you, even though it feels like you. And that's how it's set up, to feel like it's you. You start to take things more universally and not so personal, you know. So when there's a reaction to some guy walking up, when there's and there's an interpretation like this is a bad thing, take care of that upset feeling. Take care of that upset feeling, and you'll have the revelation of why this guy is coming around. You'll get to see what it is that you were believing, that you want to believe, that has him coming around.
He seems to want to believe that he has a chance. And I seem to want to believe, to say, like, you don't stand a chance, like, get lost.
Okay, so that's how the play goes down. No problem. No problem. Yay. I love you guys. You have anything?
It's a phase.
You have anything else over there?
Well, we do, but we will keep it for the next time. Thank you so much for your compassion and passion and taking time to answer this. Thank you so much. We love you.
I hope I can learn to laugh like you.
Well, it'll just come naturally when you see, and you will. Everyone will. The whole thing's gonna end in a big booming laugh. Okay, I love you. Aloha.
Aloha.
Tig Monkey's back. This is so fun. Did you raise your hand again, Tig Monkey?
I did, because I'm just so joyfully inspired by what's going on here. I'm laughing with you. It's so beautiful. I mean, with the last caller, it's just so sweet and innocent, and I fell in love with them just hearing them, share their stories. And I think, just as an offering of joyful clarification that I see in my own experiences, all of this comes back to a confusion about the self, about what you are. And if you think that what you are as a person, you're constantly trying to find that person. And the only way that you can find it is through separating yourself from these other persons. It's like, you're not my creation. You're you so that I can be me.
Yeah.
And so I'm constantly painting you as some sort of threat in order to be myself. And it's hilarious.
You're basically made of whatever you're resisting.
Totally. In the way that I kind of put myself in check is what it shows is that I'm literally like trying to be God rather than just letting God be God. It's like the classic story of the devil. First he's an angel in heaven, and he's like, hey, this party's not about me, so I'm gonna go do my own thing, and his only tools are like violence and judgment. That's the only way he can maintain his power, and that's what we as human beings do. Perceivably separate from God, we go out and we try and do it on our own, and in that we just attack everything we see.
Yep.
And it's so incredibly innocent that it just makes you want to just hug everyone.
I know. I'll find myself, when someone seems angry or acting victimized, it's like, they're so sweet, so sweet.
Yeah. Oh goodness. All right, my phone's gonna die and I need to go to bed. I love you.
I love you. Aloha.
Aloha.
So yay. Yep, that's one of those victim consciousness. Bob Shine said victim consciousness. That's one of those victim consciousness things where it's like, how do I just get them to leave me alone? It doesn't work like that. What do? It doesn't work like that. There is nothing that you do. Who knows how it's going to go? Because whatever gets thrown out there, it's just for entertainment. And it can be fun. I have a fun time saying no thank you, actually. No thank you. I'm super affectionate. I hug and kiss everyone. I pretty much kiss everyone on the lips, too, if they let me. Not everyone lets me. Like, I see you kissing everyone. Okay. But there's been some that will, like, seem like they're making the kiss last long or whatever, and I'll just find myself being very clear with them, like, hey, I'm not into any of that. I'm not into it going beyond a friendly thing, And it's okay if they want to cover it up and go, oh, I wasn't. I mean, that's okay with me. I go, well, that's the way it looked, so so you know. Yeah, Lori, if they let me. They don't all let me. It's funny. But yeah. One that was really fun, I was walking around an ecstatic dance, and a friend of mine that I know that I've seen a bunch of times, comes up and he gives me a hug, and it seemed like a regular hug at first, and then it started to get like this and like this, and I just laughed to myself because it's like, oh, what is she gonna do? And basically my hands just came out like this. It went like this in prayer, and I didn't even have any words. Well, I was on silent day too, but I didn't even have any words. And the message was clear, no problem. Looking in the eyes, not fearful, Looking in the eyes because there's nothing wrong. Looking in the eyes because there's nothing to fix. Okay? And then that whole incident, it's just nothing. It doesn't do anything anymore. Do you still do silence? I haven't since the lava flow. We'll see. I'm open to it if I feel led that way. Yeah. So there's nothing to even do about it, but your energy buys into it as if something's wrong. Like, oh no, why is this guy doing this right now? You know, oh no, why is this occurring? Right? Oh, why does this have to happen? I just wanted to go to the dance. I didn't want to get, those kinds of thoughts, any of those kinds of thoughts. Watch them because they're coming with a feeling. They're coming with a feeling. So you don't have to react to them. Just watch them. If you do react to them, that's okay. Just watch that too. But they're just showing themselves. Okay. There's nothing else that needs to be done. Just watch where you're making yourself into a victim, making other people out to be wrong or even important to you. Like if it's important that I need to be friends with that person. That's not true either. Everyone who comes to you for the same thing. You can say, the way A Course in Miracles puts it, which I like, is that, they come to you for your blessing. For your blessing. That's all. To not get, basically your blessing is given and received in as much as you're not guilting yourself. And if someone seems to be doing something wrong or is out of place or needs to stop doing what they're doing, you can guarantee that's a projection of guilt and nothing else. Okay. And my battery's dying as well. Yay. Oh, it's so fun to be with everyone today. Thank you, Tig Monk, for coming on. It was nice to see you or hear you. I feel like I could see you. Anyways, Tig Monk has some pages. You can look him up. Tiger Singleton, also Tig Monk. He's awesome. Definitely on Facebook. I see him there a lot. Phoebe, Mara, Laura, Lori, Christine, Bob, Anastasia, I love you so much. Thank you for coming and thank you for staying on. It's been so wonderful as usual. And I'll be back next week, Tuesday at 3 p.m. Hawaii time, every Tuesday. Hooray. And if you like really good essential oils, Anastasia, I have your blend here and I love it. Wait, yes. This is a different blend, but this one's for Yulia. She's not on today. Anastasia, I made your blend earlier, and I love that one too. Yay, yes, it was good to hear Tig's voice. I appreciate you so much. Oh, miraclebotanicals.com if you like good essential oils. Really awesome off-the-hook essential oils that we love up here in Hawaii. Thank you so much, and until next time, aloha and a hui ho!